For 88 days, I have stood before you and said we would work tirelessly to bring Jayme Closs home. Today, I can report we have done just that. At this moment, Jayme is being in the comforting embrace of law enforcement as the investigation in her 3-month ordeal ensues. 88 days ago, we stood before you speaking about the unthinkable tragedy and asked you to help us find 13-year-old Jayme Closs. For 88 days, you called in tips, brought us food, searched arm in arm with us, wrote us notes, and never gave up hope. As the days and weeks wore on, you still continued to call. Law enforcement locally and across the country continued to comb through over 3,500 tips, and the family never gave up hope. Last night, our collective promise was fulfilled with Jayme's safe recovery. Thank you to all. Joining me today, FBI Special Agent Justin Talomeo, Josh Call, Wisconsin Attorney General, Brian O'Keefe from the Wisconsin Department of Criminal Investigation, Barron County District Attorney DA Brian Wright, Douglas County Sheriff Tom Dahlbeck, Captain Nick Wanek from the Wisconsin State Patrol, and Diane Tremblay, Superintendent of the Barron School District. Jayme is safe, and the family is requesting that you please respect their privacy at this extremely emotional time. Also, in a few minutes, you'll hear from Superintendent Diane Tremblay on a message from the school, and please respect the respect of no media on school property today, please. This case remains a team effort from the beginning, and I'll never be able to thank all the agencies and businesses, individuals that helped on this case with their singular focus to bring Jayme home. Yesterday, there was a lot of confusion with an erroneous social media post about 4:30 p.m. in Walworth County. This was an incident in Walworth County, but in no way had connection to this case as reported on Facebook. Shortly after I posted that Jayme was not involved in the Walworth County incident, my detectives were alerted a 911 call was being given out in Douglas County, responding to a person claiming they had found Jayme. I'm now going to bring up Sheriff Tom Dahlbeck, the Douglas County Sheriff, and he'll address this part of the incident. Sheriff?
Thanks, Chris. My agency received a 911 call about 4:30 yesterday afternoon from an individual who was out walking her dog. Said she was approached by a young female claiming to be Jayme Closs. This lady immediately went to a nearby house, notified that neighbor of the claim, and this neighbor called 911, and my deputies responded en masse immediately and identified Jayme as the person that approached the neighbor, took control of her and possession of her, and put her in safekeeping. And a short time later, one of my patrol sergeants happened to find a vehicle that matched the description that Jayme gave my deputies of the suspect, and pulled the vehicle over and took the suspect in custody at that time. Beyond that, Jayme was taken to a local hospital up in the Duluth Superior area, where she was looked over and examined, and she was held overnight for observation. And the suspect was interviewed and subsequently brought back down here to Barron County. That's all I have right now.
Thank you, Sheriff Dahlbeck, and thank you, deputies, for the work that they helped in this case. The suspect was arrested and is currently being held in the Barron County Jail. That suspect is Jake Thomas Patterson, Patterson. He is 21 years old, from Gordon, Wisconsin. He is currently being held on 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide for the murder of Jayme's parents and 1 count of kidnapping. Barron County District Attorney Brian White will give a brief comment next.
Thank you, Sheriff Fitzgerald. First of all, I want to thank everyone with law enforcement for the tremendous work that they did to bring Jayme home. That starts with Sheriff Fitzgerald and the Barron County Sheriff's Department. It includes the FBI, the Division of Criminal Investigation, and the hundreds of officers who came to Barron County to assist in this investigation. I saw firsthand how brave, determined, and dedicated these men and women are. It has truly been an honor to see the work that they have performed as public servants to this community. It was only a few months ago that we as a community gathered to pray for Jayme's safe return at Barron High School. God has answered those prayers. The case will now be referred to the District Attorney's Office. Our office will review the reports and then make a charging decision. It is my intent to have a criminal complaint filed by next week. It is our job in prosecuting this case to obtain justice for James, Denise, and Jayme Closs. We will do so.
Thank you. Thank you, DA Wright. This case remains very active and fluid as we stand before you today. We have FBI, DCI, State Patrol, Douglas County investigators, and Barron County detectives actively working the scene and conducting interviews, so details will be sparse right now. We do plan a 4 p.m. media update with more details to be released at that time, right here. As you heard, the charges of the suspect is being charged with kidnapping. Jayme was taken against her will and escaped from a residence at which she was being held and found help. We also do not believe that this time that the suspect had any contact with the family. We do believe Jayme was the only target. I can tell you that the subject planned his actions and took many proactive steps to hide his identity from law enforcement and the general public. Next, I want to invite some of our partners to make a few comments. Again, these agencies stepped forward coming here, never gave up hope, and became part of our community. I can never thank them enough. First, I'll bring up Special Agent in charge of the FBI, Justin Tolomeo.
Thank you, Sheriff. Again, I am Justin Tolomeo. I'm the FBI Special Agent in charge of the Milwaukee Division, which covers all of Wisconsin. We are so pleased to stand here today with our fellow law enforcement partners to celebrate Jayme's recovery. It is an incredible day. As the Sheriff said, this case was challenging given the proactive steps the subject took to avoid detection. In cases like this, we often need a big break, and it was Jayme herself who gave us that break. We'd like to thank the citizens who came forward quickly to help save Jayme and the fast action of the Douglas County Sheriff's Office to bring her home safely. I also want to recognize the tireless efforts of agents, deputies, officers, and staff who spent the past 3 months never giving up on Jayme. This is all the outcome we like to have when a child goes missing. This is all we want to see, and it happened in this case. Thanks again to Jayme's family and the entire community of Barron for never giving up on Jayme. Today we can finally say Jayme Closs is home. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I want to bring up Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Call.
Thank you, Sheriff. First, let me thank Sheriff Fitzgerald for his incredible leadership throughout this process. Sheriff, people across Wisconsin, and I suspect across this country, are overjoyed that Jayme is finally safe. This was an effort that involved numerous law enforcement agencies, more than I have time to name. And I want to thank everybody who participated in this investigation. I want to thank everybody in the community who volunteered, who played a role, who supported this investigation, and who supported law enforcement. I want to say that I am incredibly proud of the work that the Department of Justice played in assisting with this investigation. The Department of Justice will continue to assist as needed with the investigation and with the prosecution of this case.